crowd. Good crowd. Very nice. That shit never works.
Oh, this one is off. Where's Andrew?
Uh-oh.
Alright, it's okay. They can hear me. This is like a tiny room. Thank you for being here, man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You can use yours.
All right, I feel bad. Excuse me.
I want to be a superior white man with my microphone.
Yeah, I don't need a mic for that.
Dicks are like kids. That's a classic moment premise.
Thank you. They're very similar. They grow, you know.
How does that? Okay, I've seen you around for a long time. Actually, you connected to why I had to figure out a new name, because when I first started, I used to use my full name. It's Tanael Joasha. It's very hard for people to say. And then about 2 years in 2014, we did a show together at Bearburger in the East Village.
Oh yeah.
And the producer sent me this screenshot. I still have it on my phone. And a friend of his came to the show, and the friend said, "Really fun show last night. And my favorite comedians were Mark Normand and the Haitian guy." I was like, "Fuck, I need a name." I can't remember my fucking name.
Is there another Haitian comedian?
I guess Will Sylvan.
Oh yeah.
That's
You know,
it.
he'll be dead soon. Then you dominate.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's okay. TJ works out, but then there's TJ Miller, so that's
Right.
just a weird thing.
But you got a sexy accent.
Is it sexy? Alright.
Yeah, it's a lot better than this horse shit I got, you know? I sound like a retarded auctioneer.
Do you have a Cajun accent, or you just, what part of Louisiana are you from?
I'm from New Orleans, which is kind of a little bubble, you know, it's a big city in the middle of a swamp.
I really enjoy New Orleans.
I just got back. It's a blast.
Yeah, it's just, when I was there, I realized that there's no comedy clubs there.
No.
And I think it makes sense that there isn't, because people are just too happy there for comedy.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're funny. We just want to get drunk and listen to music and dance and eat.
Right.
They don't want to hear my thoughts on.
Like, you need, a city like New York is perfect for comedy, because everybody's angry and frustrated all the time.
Right.
So you need a release, so it makes perfect sense, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What year did you come to New York City?
2007, 2008.
Oh shit, he's been here for a while.
Oh yeah, a lot of bombing.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who didn't bomb starting out? That's just what it is. I think the only person I've heard who said publicly that they never bombed was Sinbad.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys know who Sinbad is?
Yes.
Yeah, he said he's never bombed his entire.
I've seen him bomb. I went to Caroline's to watch him, and he had a rough set. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he's never bombed. I
Oh,
was like,
jeez.
that's bullshit. No real comedian has never bombed.
Yeah, and a very humble guy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So how did it start for you?
Well, I was a real loser. I just had nothing going on. I failed out of college, 3 different colleges. My brother's like a certified genius. My parents are intellectuals and lawyers and all this shit, and I couldn't stay in school. I couldn't find a thing, and I tried an open mic, and I just said, I got to go all the way with this.
Hold on. You said a certified genius. How do you certify being a genius?
Well, he's got a crazy SAT, ACT, IQ test off the charts, skipped his senior year of high school to go straight to Berkeley. Now he works for Google.
Oh, fuck, that's hard to come in.
Yeah. And I talk about my dick to strangers. Oh, hey, there we go.
Give it up for Andrew.
Hey, Andy. Atta baby.
Good work before the show.
Oh, weird.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Jonah. Oh, that one's working. There we go. Get ready.
Hey, we have a microphone.
All right.
Okay. Yes. So your brother is a certified genius, and you could not you were pretty bad in school.
Yeah.
And I was looking at your bio today, and it said, "I just want to be liked." So in your mind, is comedy like the perfect way to just find your place in the tribe and be liked by people?
Yeah, I think I should have said understood. I feel very misunderstood. So comedy, when you get a laugh, you have that immediate like, oh, they get it. They get what I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
And that's
so you want to be understood. You feel misunderstood.
Completely.
Well, okay. Do you feel like you live in a world that's different from this world? What do you mean by misunderstood?
I just think I have a weird thought, and I have a weird superpower where I can say something at a party and no one will respond.
And then you go home and write a joke about it, and now people can respond.
Yes, then I get to laugh, and I go, okay, I'm not crazy.
Right, it's alchemy. That's what's cool about this job. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you take the thing that's weird, because like when I first started doing comedy, I would hang out with comedians too much, and then I would go and hang out with regular people, and it would be a nightmare.
Yes.
Because I would say shit, and they were like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Exactly.
And I was like, "It's because comedians are okay with that shit.
Right.
Why are you guys not okay with it?" So,
if I walked into a party and I said dicks are like kids,
you'd be kicked out.
I'd be kicked out of the party.
So that makes sense. But I can tell you're a big word guy. You love words.
Yeah, words are good.
You're very old school type of writer.
Well, I also have a fear I'm boring everyone. Because stand-up inherently is kind of boring. It's a guy or a girl on stage just talking. There's not a lot of, we're not humping stools here.
Right. We're not playing an instrument. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you got to be quick and you got to choose big or sexy words to hold that attention.
Yeah, just be an effective writer.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all we have.
So what was your first open mic like? Was it in New Orleans?
Yeah. It was actually in Lafayette, Louisiana, about a 2-hour drive from New Orleans because I didn't want anyone to do to see me. And I got blackout drunk out of pure fear, stage fright, and it went pretty well, but I didn't know about the light. So I was doing my set, and it was going okay, and the guy was lighting me like crazy. I didn't know what that was. I thought he was like a lighter at a concert, like, you're killing me. And then they cut the mic, and I was like, oh, the mic must be broken, so I kept going. I didn't want to leave the stage, and then eventually the guy just goes, what are you doing, man? And I was like, oh, sorry.
And it's your first time, you have no real sense of how long you've been
Not
up
at
there.
all.
So you just keep going.
Just
How
kept
many
going.
jokes did you have written for your first time?
0. I just started talking about what was going on, like OJ or something. Whatever year it was.
Nice. So how long did you spend there to feel comfortable, like you get enough traction where you're like, okay, maybe I should move to New York City and make a real thing out of this?
Well, there's so little comedy in New Orleans, so I'd have to drive to Shreveport or drive to Houston or drive to Florida or whatever. And then eventually about 8 months in, I felt like I had 10 minutes, and then I moved to New York, to make the comedy dream come true.
Yeah.
And I bombed for like 3 years straight.
But you never give up. That's the important part.
I had nothing to go back to.
Yeah.
It's one of the perks of having nothing.
Right. A man with nothing to lose is a very motivated man. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. That's fucking
What
cool.
about you?
Well, I had stuff to lose.
You came here on a raft.
Yeah, I came here on a raft, landed in Miami, and kept rafting to New York because I hated Florida. No, I came here, and for me, it was more of a deliberate choice. I had, what is that funny? But I had an existential crisis when I was in college because I'm Haitian, and the big earthquake happened in 2010. And at the time, I was like getting really interested into comedy, but I didn't have the balls to do it. And then when that happened, I was like, well, life sucks now. Everything is bullshit, so maybe I should just go do this thing that I love to do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started for me.
I love it.
Yeah. I dropped out of college, and my mom did not speak to me for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And then here I am.
Man, it sounds like you transitioned.
Yeah. Basically, I'm trans.
And your mom wouldn't talk to you. Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah, being a comedian is as bad as being trans to a Haitian mom. Yeah. So imagine being a Haitian trans comedian. Your life is fucked.
Woo, yeah.
I don't think there's any of those.
Not yet.
Yeah. So
Are there
you
trans
hear
people in Haiti?
there are,
Okay.
but it's more of actually I was thinking about this because
we had this friend, and I went to a mixed school. Normally Catholic schools are all girls or all boys, but when I was in, I don't know what the equivalent is, but what's before high school in the U.S.?
Middle school.
Like 14, 15, not like, yeah, okay. So when I was in that grade, we had a girl that, she was very, kind of tomboyish.
Mm-hmm.
So we always thought she was a lesbian.
Sure.
And then 5 years ago, I found out in a group chat that she has come out as not trans, but what's the word? They don't say hermaphrodite anymore. She said dyke. This is not the word I'm looking for. Intersex. Yes, she came out as intersex. So she basically was born with both.
Oh, wow.
And then I guess she chose to be a because she had female appearance.
Yeah.
But you have both genitalia. It's a very abnormal condition. I think less than 1% of people in the world have it.
Wow, so she could literally go fuck herself.
Literally. Literally.
Wow.
The dick might be very small, but literally she could try. Yeah. This is a great transition because I've heard you tell the story of how you had a transvestite nanny.
Yes, cross-dressing. Burlesque dancer.
First of all, how did that happen?
Well, my parents are like the most liberal, open-minded people on the planet, and we needed a nanny, and she got highly recommended. It was like a Mrs. Doubtfire thing. And
it's a dude who would dress as a woman.
Yeah, full-on dude named Enos. Just a cool black guy.
Even the name makes sense for a transvestite.
I know, it's very on the nose. It's like Anthony Weiner or Bernie Madoff, you know? And he would take care of us, like cook and clean and all that stuff. He taught me how to drive a stick, how to shave, and then he would walk around in a wig and high heels. And I'd catch him with the broom every now and then, getting into it. And very musical guy, and he had a boa and everything.
That's fucking cool.
And then
are you still in touch with him?
He died, actually. He hooked up with a guy at a bar who thought it was a woman, and then the dong came out, and then he shot him.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I wish I didn't ask that question, but here we are, everybody. Let's sit in it.
Yeah, that was the one Haitian trans person, and now they're gone.
Let's drink one to Enos, Yeah, that's very interesting. I was talking to my girlfriend, she's Indian. I was asking, because I'm like, I've never met a gay Indian person. And there's like a billion of you people. So, this makes no sense. And then that came up and she was telling me, so the word for transvestite or queer people in India is hijra.
Hijra.
And they think of them as these very special people that go around and give blessings to people.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool. So it's not a mean thing.
No, it's not mean at all. It's almost like they're revered.
Wow.
People that are like gender queer, they're seen as some sort of godlike. They're like creatures from mythology. Yeah. I did a whole Wikipedia research on this today. It was very interesting, yeah.
Godlike. Well, your God has eight arms, huh? That's a lot of hand jobs. Is that the blue guy? Is that Indian?
The blue guy is Vishnu. What Ganesh is the guy with elephant trunks?
Destruction. I don't know.
Hey man, you started talking, so you got the confidence of a white man who knows stuff. So
I bought it.
Just want you to keep saying things. Yeah. Okay, so you come here, you bum for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
When does it start feeling like, oh, all right, I'm bumming less now?
Weird story. I was doing all these shit gigs, open mics, you name it, and I was very stand-up-y. I thought you had to be like, what's the deal with microphones? I thought that's how you did it. And
watched a lot of Seinfeld as a child.
A lot of Seinfeld, yeah. And I didn't know, there's no class. No one taught me how to do it, so you just kind of have to figure it out yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing all the what's the deal with, did you ever notice, who are these people? And this guy was shitting on me in the front row, which is understandable because I was so hacky.
Yeah.
And it was years of bombing. I was poor. I'd been mugged a few times. I got bed bugs, and I just lost it on this guy. And that was killing because I was being myself. I was being genuine for the first time.
Real emotions and feelings got bigger laughs than the what was the deal stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, I kind of like broke through a shell. It felt like.
Right. Oh, it's cool to have one of those turning points. Yeah, that's always great.
I mean, it wasn't great after that either, but it was,
Right.
it was a moment. It was
But
better.
you had the moment
Yes.
to guide you to the next
Exactly.
stage. Yeah. Okay.
So that was big.
So when you first came here, how did you do it? Because I like to ask comedians this, because the first year in New York City for everybody is kind of hell.
Yes.
But for us comedians, when you didn't move here with a specific job offer.
Mm-hmm.
You came here just to chase a dream, and you gotta live in a basement with no windows for $500 a month. It's a fucking nightmare. How was it for you?
Nightmare. Lived in Crown Heights, $400 rent. Lived with a guy in a studio. 2 guys in a studio. And
A guy you don't know. And
no,
you sure? Oh, you knew
comedian I
him.
moved up with who
Okay.
eventually quit.
Oh,
And,
damn.
Yeah, it got ugly. Got mugged 3 times the first year. Let's see. I got a job at New York Film Academy as a file clerk. So they would just put a giant stack of files on my desk, and I would just spend the whole 8-hour day filing them because they didn't have computers. I don't know. It was 1948, and so I'm just in a room with a clock and file cabinets, and that was my whole day. I had a million paper cuts. I still hate Manila to this day, and I would do open mics every night, and the motivation of hating that job and having no money and nothing going on in my life was really pushing me to write and work hard and bomb and fail and all that.
Right.
So it finally took off.
Okay, well, did you have a big breakthrough? Like you felt like there was a moment that there was a switch. You're like, oh, I made some money. Like, I got recognized. I got some recognition.
Well, the material started finally working just through sheer repetition, and then I did a set in front of Amy Schumer, and
Okay.
before she was anybody either. And she was like, hey, that was pretty good, and I'm doing some road dates if you want to do them. And I was like, oh my God. So I started opening for her, and she was doing, shows with, it was like this.
Right.
And,
Thanks, Mom.
yeah.
Thanks.
But I'm just saying at her level, she just does the garden now. So it was weird. Like she had
So there's hope for me, is what you're saying.
Yes. There you go. And then started seeing the road, doing comedy on the road is such an eye opener because you're like, these are real people with jobs and they have to have babysitters, and you're out in the middle of Cleveland or whatever the hell.
Right.
So
And
that
they
was
enjoy it a lot because this is the only entertainment in that piece of shit town.
Yes.
Yeah, the road is, people are so grateful. They treat you like you're a rock star.
It's
because
amazing.
You brought entertainment to them. I love it.
Yeah, I remember getting water bottles, and I was like, this is big. Water bottle, water. And I would have to sleep on. She was like, I'll bring you out, but you gotta fly, you gotta get a bus, or you gotta find a couch, because she didn't have any money either. So.
Right. But you figured it out?
Yeah.
You hustled?
Yeah, I even asked the audience one night. I had nowhere to stay. And so I did my set, and I said, if anyone has a bed or a couch, I'll take it, and stayed at some lady's house. And that's my wife.
Threw that out in the audience. Very romantic story.
That was desperation is a hell of a thing.
What city was that in?
That was in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Gee. Never even heard of it.
It's right outside of Chicago.
Yeah, fucking cool, man. You a road guy. You love the road.
I like the road. I like getting away because New York's great, but it'll really.
Yeah, every 6 months you gotta leave New York.
Yeah.
Breathe a little bit easy, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
And the road, you're in a hotel, you got a pool. There's no problems out there. You're just in a hotel, and you're like, all right, this is great. I got a show tonight, nothing to do all day. I love that.
Right. Do you get lonely on the road?
No. No. Big introvert. I like the alone time. Then you come back to New York, and you get a nice taint full of people. Then you get back out there.
Okay. All right. What was the first bit that sort of made you feel like, oh, I'm not this hacky, what's the deal comedian anymore? I have a real joke now.
Well, I had a big bit about in my neighborhood in Crown Heights. It was a lot of like those shitty Chinese restaurants, those hole in the wall ones.
Yeah.
And the ones that sell French fries and buffalo wings for some reason. And
I know exactly what you're talking about.
they all had funny names like Happy Dragon or Tasty Food or whatever. And there was a row of them, and I said, they sounded like racial slurs. Like,
Okay.
one was called The Lucky Dragon, one was The Happy Family, and
Uh-huh.
I did a whole bit about how, I can't remember how it started, but I can't tell if these are racial slurs or restaurants, and then I'd be
Uh-huh.
like, this neighborhood was great till these Lucky Dragons moved in, whatever. And it worked, and it killed every time. It was like my big bit, and I realized, okay, I like this format of joke, and I'm gonna
Right.
keep trying to do that more and more.
Okay. Do you find that, because you seem like, when I listen to you, it seems like you have a very good understanding of how your joke brain works.
Oh, thanks.
You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, I worked on it hard. A lot of just.
Because once you
Oh,
have
yeah.
the thought, you're like, this is how it's going to come out. I know how it's going to work. I know the moves that I make to get to where I need to go.
Yeah, but getting there was hell. It was a
Yeah,
lot of trial and
yeah.
error, a lot of fucking up,
Right.
repetition.
I mean, that's part of the journey. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I guess so. But there's no one to guide you. You just have to do it through sheer failure.
Yeah, but if there's somebody to guide you, wouldn't that make it kind of less
I
interesting?
guess so.
you know?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's painful, but it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, you know what I associate it with? Those guys in their basement who like the Dyson guy who builds his vacuum and his wife leaves him and he's in the basement. She's like, "Come to dinner." And he's like, "Shut up, whore! I'm working on this thing." You know, and
You
then
gotta
like,
be obsessed with it.
you gotta be obsessed. And 5
Yeah.
years later, he gets that
Yeah.
vacuum and now he's a zillionaire.
Yeah. And you know, the thing that I find weird now, and part of it is because of social media, I think comedy has become a little bit too, not popular, that's not the right word, but there's too many people exposed to it that don't know what it is.
Mainstream.
Too mainstream, because there are people who don't have a sense of humor.
Yes.
Like, I'll see a clip online and something is very funny to me as a comedian, and somebody was like, "Oh, that's not funny," and I'm like, "There's people laughing at it.
I know,
Maybe
I
it's
know.
not for you.
Yeah.
You should not be here."
Exactly. And maybe you just don't get it, but people are so egotistical they can't imagine they're the wrong one.
Yeah, because I think about it in terms of sport. Comedy is not soccer, because soccer is soccer is like music, you know? You don't need to know anything to get it. It's just a very simple sport. Here's a goal,
Right.
put it in the net, that's easy.
Yeah.
I think comedy is more like tennis.
How do you
It's
mean?
fun, but you have to get it.
Ah.
You're like, what the fuck is 40-30?
Oh, I see.
But if you have a sense of humor, jokes work for you. And then if you're not exposed to comedy and then you see somebody talking about dicks are like kids, you're like, well, this is not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm supposed to hear. And there's a lot of those people now, I think, because of social media, they come to shows and they're like, well, I don't know, I don't like this. I'm like, why are you here? It's in a basement. That's dark for a reason.
That's
You
true.
should not be here.
I agree. When I moved here, comedy was weird and niche, and
Right.
it was in a basement, and it was
That's what it was supposed to be.
salty and gritty, and now it's become kind of precious, and that sucks.
Yeah, it's too precious. You have to be basically a politician now. You got to speak for the people.
Yeah.
No, just want to tell dirty dick jokes, you know?
But it's like Times Square a little bit. Like in the 80s, people said Times Square was wild. There were hookers and knife fights and all that, and it was awesome. But you could
Yeah.
get stabbed.
Right.
And now it's the M&M store and Mary Poppins or whatever the hell, but there's no stabbing.
There's no stabbing,
So-
but it's not fun.
Exactly.
The thrill of possibly getting stabbed is kind of fun, isn't
It's
it?
kind of fun. It makes
yeah.
you alive.
Yeah, I like that.
I think people never or fail to realize sometimes that we're just attempting humor. Like if I came up here and said the N-word a bunch, and everybody's like, Jesus Christ, that would be bad.
Right.
You know, there's always that one guy who's like, hey, come on, it's free speech, I say what I want. And you're like, yeah, but it wasn't funny.
Yes.
But if you can say the N-word and be funny, I don't know if...
It's like you did a magic trick.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a problem with this. You know?
Right.
I feel like you were just hanging on here like, come on, buddy, help me.
I wanted you to say it.
I mean, I don't think anybody owns anything. I think if you find a way to talk about it, then fucking talk about it. To me,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this. This is the only job where anything can be talked about.
Agreed.
Anything, as long as you know how to do it.
Yes.
So you just figure it out. So, you know, you got to bump sometimes. You know, I have jokes that people don't like, but I do them anyway because I like to make people suffer, is what I'm saying, you know? But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to try to figure out things, and also, I think people now have this thing where they want to be nice, but it's fake.
Yeah.
And the problem is with comedy. Comedy is not a nice thing.
No, nice is not funny.
Exactly. Every joke is a criticism of something.
Right.
So when people just want to be nice and they go, you can't joke about this. If I came up here and be like, aren't women amazing? There's nothing funny about that.
Yeah.
But
I
people
agree.
kind of want that shit because that's how they feel online and in the world. You just got to put on this face
Yeah.
that makes you feel like you're a good person.
It's very performative. It's like
Right.
the people who say, hey, the environment, but then they get in their private jet and fly across the world. You know,
Yes,
it's like, what
that's
about the
exactly
environment?
those people.
People pick and choose.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite thing? Like, you're in a very good place now. Would you agree to that?
Mentally?
Well, let's leave that part.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
financially and career-wise, right?
Yeah, I'm happy. This is a good level. I don't
Yeah.
want to go any higher. I don't want to go any lower. I like it right here.
Okay.
Very happy.
Well, that's hard to do, though.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
either you
career.
keep going up or you.
Can I coast right here?
I mean, you can probably figure it out.
All
Yeah.
right, all right.
Congratulations on getting married.
Thanks. I give it a year. No,
How long has it been now?
6 months.
How did you meet your wife? I know it's in Schaumburg, Illinois, but
A comedy show.
really?
I had a decent set, and she was on a date, and she was like, "I hate this guy, but who's this douche?"
Hell
And,
yeah.
She DM'd
So
me.
you stole your wife? You?
Yeah.
Basically a rapper.
Yeah, I'm Drake.
So she DM'd you.
Yeah, we got
Was
a
it anything salacious, or was it just, hey, you were funny?
She quoted one of my bits and put it in the DM, which I thought was cool.
That's cool. That is smart. Ladies, are you picking up notes? That's how you get men.
Because I don't mean to zing the gals, but I was on Bumble for a hot minute. Bumble's the one where the woman has to initiate.
Yeah.
And some of these pickup lines were horrific.
Oh, women are just terrible at picking up
Oh.
men. That's just not their job, you know?
Yeah, how's your Tuesday? What does that mean? Give me something. But yeah,
So she DM'd you, you started dating, and it became,
and that was it. Yeah,
fuck yeah.
good times.
You got married, what, very recent? I think I saw pictures of your wedding online. Where did you get
November.
married?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Went back home. She's
Cool.
from Boston, so.
Oh. How's that culturally?
That's cool. I like her parents are normal.
Okay, they're not Boston people.
No,
Boston.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the accent, but they're very nice.
Okay. Cool, man. You give it a year.
I'm just kidding.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. How many?
Well, I don't want my own. I just want to play with other people. No, I think 2 is a good number.
Okay.
You don't want the weird only child psycho, but then you don't want too many.
I know a lot of only kids. They're pretty. They're not psychos, but they're a little fucked up, you know? Yeah.
It's a weird way to grow up.
Yeah. It's like being homeschooled inside of your head, you know?
Ooh, that's heavy.
It's hard.
Do we have any onlys here? All right, 1, 2, there you go. You guys seem
Oh, hi,
all right.
Hannah. I'm sorry.
That was very rude.
Well, she's the exception that proves the rule. She's pretty good, so yeah.
So well adjusted.
Yeah, you gotta socialize them young.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about the special.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where did you shoot it?
Shot at the Vic Theater in Chicago, and I'm the only idiot
That's a hot destination for specials.
You think?
Chicago crowds are great.
Oh,
That's
great
what I've
crowds.
heard. Yeah.
But I shot it on St. Patty's like an idiot. I didn't
Oh
know about
no.
it.
Did you have a bad crowd?
Well, I did 2 shows, and one was just blacked out, fall down, shithoused, and the second one was good.
God. You've been in the business long enough to know not to tape on St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't know the date off the top of my head.
Damn. So the first one was shitty. The
Yeah.
second one worked out.
Second one was good. We just used that one.
Okay, so not even just easy editing. You're just gonna use one show.
Yeah, I guess so.
Perfect. And how? Because you had a couple on YouTube,
One on YouTube,
One
and
on
one on
YouTube.
Comedy Central.
right? And so basically, you've done all the networks. You're just
Yeah.
shopping around. Hell yeah.
Grinders next. and then maybe Al Jazeera.
Are you excited about Netflix, or do you wish you were still on YouTube? What's your view on it?
YouTube is amazing because you can do your thing. There's no notes, no showrunner, no nothing, no producing. It's all your baby.
Yeah.
And Netflix, they'll give you this or that note. But I did it because I've never been on it like that, and
it's still a goal as a comedian.
It's a goal, and I got the YouTube crowd. Let me try a new crowd.
Okay. And I'm sure the money wasn't bad either. YouTube is free.
Well, the money's not great anymore because they're
Because
giving
it's
them out.
saturated, yeah.
Exactly. This guy's got one coming out. So it's all right. You're just right here. It's a proximity thing.
I know it's impolite, but I kind of want to ask you how much. We can talk about it
All
after the
right.
show. Off stage.
You get 200K, I'll tell you, but you have to spend at least 60 to shoot it.
Right.
It's got to be these high-tech cameras, and you got to hire an editor, a color correct, an audio thing.
And then you give your lawyer, your agent, your manager, so you walk away with 7K.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking comedy, what a business.
I know. They used to give you 500,000, a million, whatever, and those days are over.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, do you think we'll get to a place where it becomes less saturated again? Or
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think everything has a ceiling, and then the real comics will stay, and all
Right.
these hobbyists will fluff off.
Yeah. The TikTok people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, when does it come out? I said it before, but I want you to plug it again. The special.
July 25th.
July 25th. And what's it called?
It's called Soup to Nuts, because I cover everything. Soup to Nuts, top to bottom, A to Z.
And now, are you still working, are you still touring with some of that material, or are you just working on new stuff now?
Well, a lot of this was new, so I'm working on it, but as you can see, it's not all there yet. The pedophile joke with the bestiality is still funky. But I'm gonna get it.
I think the bestiality is interesting. Well,
I think it's interesting too.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll give you this. It probably won't add to the joke or anything,
Please.
but
I'm dying here.
I saw this documentary on Vice, and in Colombia, in the mountains. It's a very Catholic country, so people are very, shy about sex. So a lot of boys in the mountains fuck donkeys. And people know about it, but they just don't talk about it. They're like, well, that's better than trying to take virginities from those young girls. Just go fuck a donkeys and you'll get practice and get it out of your system. And then when you're old enough, you can marry a woman.
Hey, I like it, but I'd worry about the kicking.
There you go. See, you found it.
All right.
And you're not really hurting the donkey, because have you ever seen a donkey dick? Like a little boy's penis next to that is nothing. So the
Good
donkey
point.
feels nothing. I think it's...
But maybe it's mean to the donkeys. He's like, that's it? Come on. Trying to get off here.
Yeah, so it's a real thing. Yeah, in New Zealand, what I read was that there's 25 sheep to every person.
Oh.
So it's
there you
almost
go.
like they have to fuck the sheep.
Yes, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's just too many.
I'm sure some sheep like it. See, I prefer shaved. So I would go with the goat. A lot of pube on that sheep.
Do you have a favorite topic to joke about, or to you it's just whatever you can play with?
Yeah, to me, the best ones are the ones where you don't have to filter it for the masses. Because you can tell you do a joke and people clam up, and those are my favorite when you can pull that out. You're like a pilot who can get out of that.
You stick the landing.
Exactly.
But you gotta get through the turbulence.
Yes, exactly.
And the turbulence is very uncomfortable for a lot of us.
Sure.
Like, I don't mind the turbulence, but I know comedians who just don't want to even go there.
I know, but that's fun. When you can pull that out, I think it's worth more in the end.
I think it is. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of comedy. That's one of the great things about it, is you can get to that nitty-gritty where you couldn't get with any other art form.
That's true. Yeah, it's inherently transgressive, I think.
Yeah.
You have to be wrong to be funny a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't mean wrong in the sense of, how do I put this? Not like the moral right or wrong. You just have to say things sometimes where people go, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah.
And then you keep talking, they're like, all right, I got what you're saying, you know?
Right.
It's just trying to get them to see your weird perspective.
Yeah.
Again, for you, it's just making them understand you.
Yes, exactly. And what, we're the only two people on Earth who have weird thoughts? You guys are sickos too, you just hide it better.
Right,
You know?
they all do. Yeah, I hate when people go, well, you know, comedians, they're all sad and depressed. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, we're not. We are, but it's
So
just
are
that we
you.
have a microphone that we get to talk it into. You
Right.
guys also have it. Why are you laughing at comedians if you're not also sad and depressed?
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
And you tell me every roofer is chipper? No, they're bummed out too. So yeah, comedy's fun, and it's weird when people get so angry at comedy because I get all these people like, you got me through the pandemic, listening to jokes and all that.
Yeah,
It helped me
yeah.
my depression. So I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah, it's just too fragmented.
Yeah.
Where people want their political, like, a little bit after the pandemic, this became somewhat more apparent for me, where, you know, you would do a joke and then people would sort of go to the HR department in their heads to be like, should I laugh at this? Is
Right.
this okay? It was like,
Yeah.
no, it should be an instinct.
It's a horrible way to live.
Yeah, because just laughing at it does not make you a bad person.
Of course.
It doesn't mean anything. You just, I thought that was funny. It just tickled that part of my brain that thinks it's funny.
There's a great comic, Chad Daniels. He did a joke once, and half the crowd groaned, and half the crowd laughed hysterically. And he goes, "It must suck to be you guys." They hear that, and their brain goes, "Hey, this is great," and yours went sad. So you
Right,
have an
right.
inherently worse life.
Yeah.
I think
And the
about
thing
that.
is, I'm not even mad at the people that grown, because, you know, that's
Yeah,
it's not their fault.
No, they're allowed
It's
to have
just that
that.
that's the way their brain works.
But
It just
sometimes I
wants
think
that.
they're faking it.
Sometimes they are, yeah. I think sometimes they are. All right, well, we gotta get you out of here soon.
Okay.
A few more before we go. What would you say has been so far? How old are you?
39.
39. What's been the highest moment of your career so far?
To me, it's this is a weird one, but so I did the special. It's fun, whatever. But to me, going, hey, I need to work out new material. Let me send out a tweet about all these places I'll be and have it sell out. That is the best. feeling.
Yeah, that's the dream for all of us.
Yeah.
You think how hard I worked, and this is how many people we got here?
This is
Yeah.
solid. This is a good show. And they're a good
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah, it is a really cool moment where you can go, yeah, I want to do a show, and then people show up.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, it's a really, like, powerful thing that you don't want to abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
People will show up for me, so let me make sure it's worthwhile for them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really cool. Okay, and what's the lowest that you've
Ooh, boy. I mean, just letting people down, people booking you and then bombing. I mean, there's so many low points.
had? Yeah.
I remember one time a comic, I won't say who it was, but they were like, I'm going to produce your special. I'm going to come out tonight and watch you. And I bombed.
Oh,
I just
fuck.
bombed hard. And they were like, well, we'll talk. And it never happened.
The classic show business, world talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Ooh. How long ago was that?
That was like 2015, 2016. So I never got the special. Just a bad night. I was off. The crowd sucked. It was tough.
That was in New York City?
Yeah,
And do you still have a relationship with that comic?
I do.
Okay.
But I got a special a year or two later. But that moment, that was a year of just like in the shower going, what the hell's
Yeah,
wrong with
the
me?"
next week for you must have been
Oh,
hell. Yeah.
hell.
I'm sorry, but
But you need those.
yeah, it makes you stronger, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, final one. I like to ask this, and I
All
promise it's not morbid.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't mind morbid.
What would you like? You know, you're 39. You're having a great career. What would you like your tombstone to say?
Whoa. Jeez. I guess not gay. No. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. It feels a little egotistical to.
It
say-
is, but it's also like, how would you like to be remembered? What do you think you gave to the world as a thing that you had while you were here? That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
Obviously, jokes, you know.
Yeah. I think it just he wasn't that bad.
He wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Norman. He
Yeah.
wasn't that bad.
I'll take it. Thank you, TJ.
Thanks for coming, bro.